What is up? It's Bob, Home Cook Basics. Man, I'm cooking a lot today in the kitchen, and I got a great one for you today. I'm going to teach you caramelized onions. So caramelized onions just can be a game changer for any type of dish. Putting these on a grilled cheese is unbelievable. So let's jump into caramelized onions. All right, so first off, we're going to cut all these onions. I got 5 yellow onions here. I like using yellow onions the most. I mean, you could use any type of onion really. Not so much red onion, I'd say, but Vidalia's work, sweet onion, but I prefer yellow onion for this. So we take all these onions here. Simply, we're gonna cut the ends off. Okay. Then we're gonna remove that first layer of the onion. You really want to get past this first skin layer. So a lot of people just do this skin layer, okay? But this can be soft and not such a great part of the onion on that first layer, especially if it gets a little bit green. So I usually take off that whole first layer, not just the skin, okay? And try not to cry over it, but I did do a video recently on how to peel an onion, and a guy got all upset about how much I cut off of the top of this onion and didn't save it, but you do you. All right, so now that we got all the skin off, the peel off that onion, we're gonna go ahead and cut them. I don't cut the onion this way, and that's as simple as cutting into the root and stem end, okay? All the way around the onion. Go ahead and cut them all up like that. This is the part when you're doing caramelized onions and you get so many, man. If you don't cry, I don't know. There is a way to do that so you don't cry. Let me know in the comments. Is there a trick for you? But go ahead, you're gonna slice all these up like that. So the next step, we wanna get a frying pan on the heat, warm it up before we add the oil. I mean, a good way to check, guys, if your oil is ready is put some water in that pan. And what you're looking for is for the water to roll on that pan, okay? It's gonna evaporate really fast, but those beads should roll. If they're rolling, you probably got enough heat, but you wanna get that warm. If you have a cheaper pan, you gotta be careful because those things can go too far. This is a made-in pan, the link's in my description. These things are awesome. So put your hand there. I already know by my hand how hot it's gonna be. And you want quite a bit of oil here. And you see how that oil is beading, like it's got veins on it, kind of like wine? That's the heat you're looking for, okay? And you want a decent amount of oil. We wanna cover all these onions. All right, now we got this big pile of onion. Let's get it in there. So many onions, right? Don't be afraid to get enough in there that you fill that whole pan. And then I like to get them all to have some of that olive oil on them right from the get-go. That oil on that onion, when that onion finally gets to get on the bottom like the rest of them, it'll be able to brown just like the rest. So, all right, so now that we got them good like that, we're gonna add salt, and a good amount of salt. I use a kosher, thick grind salt, sea salt. Get it on all of it there, and give it a good mix. And if you can, and you do have it, grab yourself a lid. This is gonna speed up this process. It's gonna help those onions reduce, get a little bit of the water out of them. I got one of these wonky dudes, it's pretty cool. It's made for all different sizes, but it will fit on top of one of these frying pans. So go ahead, throw it on there and keep the heat up. Keep it hot, medium heat. Now it's important, guys, to keep them flat in there, okay? You can even press it down a little bit. And the idea now at this point is just to keep them there and don't move them. because you want to start browning it. Browning is going to add that flavor. Now, obviously, you don't have to do this if you don't have a big lid. That's just something that helps speed up the process a little bit. All right, so now we want to make sure that they don't burn on the bottom, right? We got a lot of that moisture out. The bottom of that pan is starting to brown up. And now you can see some of those onions browning, okay? Now that's the process, and now what it is time. So this is just gonna take time. You know, the difference between caramelized onions and say sauteed onions is saute, you're looking to get them translucent and maybe brown, but you're not going to that full length of like caramelizing that onion and getting that sugar to come out. That's where we're going with these. So that's it. So that's the process, all right? So now we're gonna let this go. That was like 10 minutes. It's gonna go another 20 minutes, depending on the heat you have. The higher the heat, the more you gotta watch these and make sure they're not burning on the bottom and pull them off the bottom, mix them, and then let them sit. So I'll check back with you in a little bit to see where we're at. All right, so let's check on those onions. You can see that coming out nice. You can start to see that caramelization. And a little cheat, guys, if you get in trouble and it's going too far and it's starting to really brown on the bottom of that pan, A, turn down the heat, right? Cook on a lesser heat. And B, you can add water. So add some water in there. It'll get those brown bits to deglaze from the bottom of the pan, because you can see like there's nothing on the bottom of this pan right now. All right, it's been in like another 20. Let's see where we're at with these. All right, so now you can see that browning happening on the bottom. Almost went too far there, right? That's what I was talking about. So you want to keep that off the heat. Don't let them burn. See this side, you're looking more of that color to have on the pan. These are like starting to really caramelize now, right? This isn't burnt. I wouldn't consider this burnt. And now you guys you have to decide now, like, how far do you want to go with these? As you test it and you do this a few times, you'll see how far you want to caramelize them. You can go further than this and they get really jammy, really sugary. Personally, I put them on all kinds of things, so I don't want to really get to the point of where they turn into mush. To me, this is past the caramelization stage of just a sauteed onion. You can obviously see like there, that's the sugars coming out. And that's one thing to watch out too, because that's what burns, is those sugars. But this is like, man, browning's flavor, right? Dude, you put these things on a burger, on your eggs, everything, dude. Now there's one thing that we're missing in here, and that, well, I guess there's two. We don't really have a fat, but that's not really the goal of this, right? This is gonna complement something else that you made. So the one thing I like to add to this is an acid. You can add lemon, a vinegar, balsamic vinegar goes really well in this, and that's what I'm gonna do today. So grab some balsamic. Now balsamic too is you get what you pay for. So, you know, if you can afford it and you don't use much of it, get a really good balsamic. It really changes the game to almost any dish that you put it on. And also with onions, it kind of gives it a nice color. So I give it, you know, about a tablespoon for about this amount of onions. If you let it cook a minute on that bottom, it's gonna deglaze everything. It's gonna take it all off that bottom. But as you can see, man, that like really added a nice color to those. That's it, get them off the heat here. Throw them on a plate. Oh, look at those. It's almost like you can smell the sweetness. That balsamic too, it's almost like it gets like, almost like a raisiny flavor. So that's it, caramelized onions. All right, I gotta give them a try. As you can see, they browned, caramelized. Gonna be sweet, gonna be delicious. It's perfect. They didn't go so far that they're mush. They still have a little bit of texture to them, but they've been browned. The sugar has come out. You got a little bit of saltiness there than when we salted in the beginning. And that balsamic vinegar, that acid, just kind of balances it all. Now you can take these, you can store them in your refrigerator, use them for 3 to 5 days on anything, eggs, burgers, anything you could think of that you want to give it a little zing and a little pop, something to give it a little more flavor. These are it. Putting these on a burger is a game changer. So I want to thank you for watching. If you get a chance, check out this video that I'm doing right now. It's on my stuffed mushrooms, great for the holiday season. And I'll see you next time on Home Cooked Basics.